Good morning, yogis. I have been on extended travel through most of the month of June. And while I was gone, I did a lot of hiking, some trail running, some climbing, lots of traveling, of course, from Japan to Arizona. And I'm feeling really tight. And sorry to say that I didn't do much yoga at all during my trip. So I really need this practice and I really need to loosen up, and I hope it will help you too, because I know a lot of us are traveling now that we're kind of coming out of this pandemic, and it's July 2021. So I'm really excited about the summer and what it has to offer, and I want to make sure that I'm staying healthy and strong and grounded, and I want to help you to do the same. So if you'd like to join me for this practice, let's go ahead and begin seated on our mats. You may want to have a block handy, and go ahead and sit in any comfortable pose that you like. And go ahead and put your hands on your knees, or maybe even at heart center today. And close your eyes and relax. And come into stillness. And breathe. Notice your breath. Notice how your inhales may be coming longer. Your exhales may be more complete. Notice your heart rate. Is your heart racing? Is it steady? Is it slowing down? Notice your body. Do you have any areas of tightness? Areas of discomfort or pain even? Or are you feeling great today? How do you feel emotionally? Do you feel calm and centered? Do you feel anxious or nervous or excited? Just notice these feelings. Notice your breath and your body. And leave everything else behind. Just be here with me now on your mat. Go ahead and open your eyes. And let's do some overhead stretches. So inhale, arms up, gaze up. Really stretch your arms up over your head. Exhale, arms down, gaze down. Inhale, arms up, gaze up. And exhale, arms down, gaze down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Let's do some seated cat-cows. So inhale and open your chest up, gaze up. Exhale, curl forward, curl your spine, backs of your hands together in front of you. Inhale, open. Exhale, curl forward. Inhale, open. Exhale, curl forward. Inhale and exhale. Let's do some side stretches. So leaving your right hand down on your mat. Inhale your left arm up and over your head, maybe gazing up. And to the other side, inhaling your right arm up and over, maybe gazing up. And to the other side, left arm up and over. Leave your left hip on the mat when you're doing this. Right arm up and over. Make sure you're leaving your right hip down on the mat this time. One more time. Inhale up and over. And coming to center. Let's do some seated twists. So bring your left hand to your right knee, your right hand behind you, sit up straight and turn to look over your right shoulder. If you'd like a deeper stretch, raise your right arm up and gaze out over your right fingertips. Hold it here for one more breath. And coming to center, we'll do the other side, right hand to left knee, left hand behind you, sit up straight, turn to look over your left shoulder. And if for a deeper stretch, raise your left arm up and gaze out over your left thumb. Hold it here for 2 more breaths. And return to center. Go ahead and fold forward, maybe coming onto your elbows. Try to leave both hips on the mat. For a more restorative pose, you might want to bring your head to your block. Or fold all the way down, bringing your head onto your hands. Breathe into any areas of tightness you may feel. Trying to leave both hips on the mat. And coming on up. And let's do a little back bend. So bring your arms behind you. Open up your heart. Open up your throat. Look up. And give yourself a little back bend here. And coming back out of that. Go ahead, switch your legs. And we'll do the other side. So go ahead, bending forward again. Onto your elbows. Using the block if you'd like for a more restorative pose. Coming down on, all the way down with your forehead resting on your hands. Breathing into any areas of tightness or discomfort you may feel. Hold it here for 2 more breaths. And coming back up. And we'll do our back bend. So hands coming behind you. Opening up your heart, opening up your throat, looking back behind you. And coming up out of that, let's do some shoulder rolls. Rolling 3 times up and around and down. And then reverse directions, forward shoulder rolls. And let's just do some neck stretches here. So bring your left ear to your left elbow. Maybe bring your right arm out to the side. And then bring your left hand to the side of your head. And don't pull down on your head. Just let the weight of your hand here rest on your head. Getting a nice stretch on the right side of your neck here. And then looking down at your armpit. And then coming up to center, we'll do the other side. So extend your left hand out, bring your right ear to your right shoulder, and using your right hand to rest gently on your head. Don't pull on your head, just let the weight of your hand do the work here. And looking down at your armpit. And coming up to center, let's go ahead and come into our tabletop position. So on hands and knees, wrists directly under your shoulders, knees directly under your hips. Let's do my favorite cat-cow stretches. So inhale, relax your belly, open up your heart, open up your throat into cow. Exhale, push the mat away, curl your spine, look at your belly button into cat. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Continue that on your own. Inhaling into your cows. Exhaling into your cats. Inhaling into your cows. Exhaling into your cats. And let's do some circles here. Circling our bodies, warming up our wrists. Circle one direction for a few times. And then switching directions, going the other way a few times. And then any other free-form movement that you'd like to do to warm up your body, to loosen things up. Maybe bringing your left shoulder to your left hip, your right shoulder to right hip. Maybe doing some neck circles here. Maybe bending your elbows, coming down, forward and back, side to side. And then coming into stillness. And we're going to do thread the needle. So on an inhale, raise your right arm up, way up into the air. Gaze up at your right fingertips. Feel a good stretch here, opening up your heart. And then exhale, thread the needle, bringing your right shoulder underneath your body and lying gently down on your right shoulder. Hips remain neutral here. Don't let them shift to one side or the other. For an additional stretch, you could bring your left arm behind you, grasp onto your right thigh, maybe gaze up at the ceiling. Stretching both shoulders here. We'll hold it here for a couple more breaths. Pushing up out of that, we'll do the other side. So inhale your left arm up into the air, way up, open up your heart, gaze up at your left fingertips, and then thread the needle. Your left arm goes underneath your body. Hips remaining neutral here. For an additional stretch, you can bring your right arm behind you, grasp onto your left thigh, stretching both shoulders, maybe gazing up at the ceiling. Hold it here for a couple more breaths. And then pushing back up into our tabletop position. Let's do a couple more cat-cow stretches. Inhaling into cow, exhaling into cat. Inhale cow and exhale cat. Coming into stillness, we're going to do sunbird. So reach your left leg back behind you, curl your toes, and bring your toes down to the mat. Can you see my toes? There they are. And let's just rock back and forth here, getting a nice stretch for our feet, our toes, our calves, our left calf anyway, and our left hamstring. I know I used my calves a lot while hiking in Arizona, and this feels really good to me. Hope it does to you too. Coming into stillness, raise your left leg up into the air, flex your left toes, bring your right arm up into the air, gaze down at your mat. Hold it here for just a moment and we'll do our crunches. So inhaling, extending everything out. Exhaling, curl it in, your knee to your elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale out. Exhale in. Inhale out. Exhale in. One more time. Inhaling out and exhaling in. And bring your hand back down to the mat. Extend your left leg out. One more time, flexing your left toes. And then bring your left foot over to the right side of your body and look back at your right foot. My poor right foot. It's been so abused. Both of my feet have been abused these last few weeks. We need to take care of our feet though. They do so much for us. And coming back into tabletop, one more quick cat-cow. Inhaling into cow, exhaling into cat. Let's do that one more time. Inhale cow, exhale cat. Coming back into neutral spine. Let's do the other side. So bring your right foot back behind you, curl your right toes down onto the mat, and let's rock back and forth here. Getting a good stretch on the right side. Right toes, right foot, right calf and hamstring. Lots of times we don't pay attention to our feet until they start to hurt. We should always take care of our feet because they take care of us. Raise your right leg up into the air, flex your right toes, lift your left hand up into the air, gaze down at your mat. Hold it here for just a moment before we do our crunches. Inhale, extend everything out. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale out, exhale in. Inhale out, exhale, curl. Inhale, extend, lengthen, exhale, crunch. One more time, inhale out and exhale in. And bring your left hand down to the mat. Extend your right leg one more time, flexing your right toes. And then bring that right foot over to the left side of your body and look back at those toes. Getting a nice glute stretch here. And a nice look at your toes. How often do we look at our toes, huh? I don't look at mine very often. Okay, coming back to center, back into our tabletop position. Let's go ahead and sit back onto our heels. Just for a moment here. Let's curl our toes and sit back onto our heels. And this is really may feel very intense for you. It does for me, for sure. Make sure all of your toes are getting a good stretch here. So Make sure even your little toe, maybe separate your toes a little bit here. All the toes are getting a nice stretch. This is a good chance for you to take your mind somewhere else. Or maybe just center yourself here. Because it may feel very intense, this stretch. When I first started doing this stretch, I can only do it for a couple seconds. It really was a bit too much for me, but now I can hold it for quite a while. I won't make it you hold it for that long though. Just go ahead, breathe. Breathe into that sensation, that feeling of tightness or discomfort. And go ahead, come out of that and go ahead, slap the tops of your feet onto the mat, slap, slap, slap. Work that out, make it feel good for you. And let's sit back into child's pose. Let's do a narrow leg child pose. So knees together, shins together, and go ahead and press back into your child's pose, bringing your forehead down onto the mat, arms stretched out in front of you, palms spread wide. Then come up onto your fingertips and just walk your fingers over to the left side of your mat and then press back down. And coming up onto your fingertips again, and we'll walk our fingers over to the other side, to the right side, and then press back down. Coming back up onto your fingertips, go ahead, walk back to the front of your mat, come back up into a tabletop position, just briefly, and then we'll press back into downward facing dog. So curl your toes and press your hips up into the air. This is our first downward dog of the day. So let's keep our knees bent. Go ahead and pedal your feet here, bringing one heel down, followed by the other. Arms are straight, palms spread wide on the mat. Bringing your chest closer to your thighs. Your ears are between your biceps. Shake your head yes and no. Just releasing any tension in your neck. Downward dog is a great full body stretch. Feeling it in my shoulders, my back, my glutes, my quads, calves. Coming into stillness, look forward and step your right foot between your hands, followed by your left foot into forward fold. First forward fold of the practice, so keep your knees bent here, bringing the crown of your head down towards your mat. Go ahead and spread your feet a little bit wider, maybe a little bit wider than hip width apart. And then grasp opposite elbows, and let's do a ragdoll pose, just rocking back and forth here. Really releasing any tension you may have in your lower back. Just rock back and forth, keeping your knees bent here. Enjoying this time. And coming into stillness, bring your feet back to about hips width apart. And let's go ahead and sit back into a chair pose here. So sit back as if you're sitting into a chair, raise your arms up over your head. And we're going to do a little breath work here. So on an exhale, we're going to lower our arms, and then on an inhale, we'll bring them up, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So inhale and lengthen your arms up, and then exhale. And coming into stillness. And go ahead and fold forward again into our forward fold. Coming up into a flat back. Hands resting on your shins. Back into forward fold. And then bending your knees, rising all the way up. Arms up overhead, gazing up at your palms. Coming down to heart center, into mountain pose, Tadasana. And feeling grounded here. Let's just rest for a moment. And we'll do just a couple sun salutations. So if you're not already at the top of your mat, come there now. Inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, gaze up, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Palms down on the mat, and bring your right foot way back behind you. And coming up to a runner's lunge. With the strength of your legs, rise up into a high lunge. We're going to rotate out to warrior two. Rotate your arms, your shoulders back and down. Gazing out over your left fingertips. Your left knee is bent. We're going to do reverse warrior. So reach back with your right fingertips. Your left arm goes up over your head. Back to warrior two. Reverse warrior. Warrior two. Reverse warrior, warrior two. Rotating back into your high lunge. Back to runner's pose. Bring your left foot back to meet your right into a high plank. Lower your knees. Bend your elbows and bring your chin and chest, and then all the way down to your mat. Tops of your feet and your pelvis are ground into your mat, and then gently raise your chest off the mat into a low cobra. Releasing out of this, curl your toes, press back into downward facing dog. Pedal your feet here. Look forward. Bring your right foot up between your hands, followed by your left foot into forward fold. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, gaze up, arms up, palms down to heart center. Inhale, rise up, gaze up, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, forward fold, and this time bring your left foot all the way back behind you, coming up into a runner's lunge. The strength of your legs, rise up into a high lunge. Rotate out into warrior two. And we'll do our reverse warrior. And warrior two. Reverse warrior. Warrior two, reverse warrior, warrior two. Rotating back to high lunge, back into runner's pose. Bring your right foot back to meet your left into a plank position. Lower your knees, bend your elbows, bringing your chin and chest, and then your whole body down to the mat. Rising up to your low cobra. Curling your toes, pressing back into downward facing dog. And we'll hold it here for 3 full breaths. Looking forward, bring your right foot up between your hands, followed by your left into forward fold. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, rise all the way up, bringing your palms together, down to heart center, back into mountain pose, Tadasana. And we're going to come into some balancing poses. So, grounding down with your right foot, we're going into eagle. So bring your left foot across your right ankle. If you'd like, you can hook your left foot on the back of your right shin. Bring your arms out in front of you like Frankenstein arms, and then cross your right arm over your left, cross your forearms, grasp your palms together, and then sit back into your eagle. It's a great stretch for your hips and your shoulders, and really helps you center yourself. And rising up out of this, go ahead and release everything and shake it all out. Maybe do a little extra shakes here. Shake, 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 shake. And we'll do the other side. So this time, ground down with your left leg and cross your right leg over your left. Maybe even hooking your right ankle behind your left shin. And then bringing your arms together out in front of you. Frankenstein arms, and cross your left arm over your right, crossing your forearms, bringing your palms together in front of your face, bringing your elbows up to shoulder height, and then sinking your hips back into your eagle. Feeling centered, getting a good stretch here. Holding it just for one more breath. And going ahead and rising up out of that. Release everything and shake it out. Let's do a little more shakes. Let's do some wiggles. And get that all worked out of us. I'm feeling a little bit looser, a little bit better. I hope you are too. Let's do some shoulder rolls. Back a few times. And then forward a few times. And let's do one more balance pose. Let's do tree pose. So grounding down with your right foot. Bring your left foot up to your shin, your calf, your inner thigh, or even higher if you like. Palms together at heart center. Balancing on your left leg. Or bring your arms up over your head. Balancing, feeling centered. Making sure that left knee is rotated out. It's very good for a distracted mind. My mind has been very distracted since I returned to Okinawa, so I find this very helpful to me. Bringing your hands down to heart center again. Releasing your hands. Releasing your left foot. And shake it out. Let's do some little extra shakes here. Feels good. And this time, let's ground down with your left leg. And bring your right foot up to your shin, your calf, your inner thigh, or higher, rotating that left knee out. Hands to heart center. Raising your arms up over your head, clasping your palms together. Lifting everything up, balancing here. Feeling grounded and centered, connected to Mother Earth. I don't know why I didn't do yoga very much while I was on my trip. I really needed it. I feel that now. Go ahead and release your arms. Release your right foot and shake it out. Shake, 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 shake. Shake that, shake that. Let's do some hip circles. So, ground down with your left foot. Bring your right knee up into the air, and then we'll rotate it out to the right, and then back, out, and back, out, and back. This feels really good if you've been sitting on a plane for a long time. Or in an air terminal for many hours. Look back, and we'll do the other side. Ground down with your right leg and lift your left knee up and rotate your knee out and back and out and back and out and back and out and back. All right, shake that out. Let's come onto our mats and spread your legs wide as you like. Raise your arms up over your head, gaze up, and swan dive over with a flat back. Coming down into a forward fold. Leaving your right palm down on the mat. On an inhale, raise your left arm up into the air, gazing up at your left fingertips. Feeling a really good stretch here. And bringing your left arm down. We'll do the other side. Raise the right arm up into the air, gazing up at your right fingertips. And we'll hold it here. Nice side stretch. And bringing that hand down. Go ahead and grasp opposite elbows, and we'll do a little side to side stretch here. Rocking back and forth. Coming into stillness, maybe spreading our legs a little bit wider if you like. If coming into splits is part of your practice, feel free to do that now. Or bringing your head down to your mat, or using a block, so rest your head on a block. Maybe bringing your palms back behind you, maybe out to your shins. Whatever feels good to you today. Every day is different, every body is different. Every practice is different. Heel toe your feet together. We're going to come into a yogi squat here, so lowering your hips down. Bringing your palms together, using your elbows to press your knees out. And let's rock back and forth here into our Malasana yogi squat. Back and forth. Feels really good after weeks of hiking. And coming into stillness. We're going to come down into a hero's pose. So sitting back on your shins here. And maybe this is as far as you want to go. If you'd like a little deeper stretch, you can spread your legs a bit and sit down all the way on the mat. And if you'd like to do a reclining hero's pose, go ahead and come down to your elbows. Maybe this is as far as you want to go. You could also use a block back here to rest back on. Or if it's part of your practice to come all the way down, feel free to do that now. Maybe opening up your palms and relaxing into the pose. Taking deep breaths here. Inhaling deeply through the nose and exhaling through the nose. We'll hold it here for 2 more breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead and come back up out of it, up onto your elbows and all the way up. And bringing your knees back together and sitting back just for a moment before we transition onto our glutes. Bending your knees, soles of your feet on the mat. We're going to do a boat pose with a twist here. So go ahead and raise your shins up parallel to the mat. Bring your arms out to your sides, fingertips facing forward. Back is straight. Don't round it, keep it straight up. It's really good for the core. And then we'll do a twist here. So rotating to the left side, palms coming together. And back to center. Rotating to the right. And palms coming together. Hold it up one more time. If you can, straighten your legs. And then releasing out of that. And we're going to come down onto our bellies. So go ahead and relax on down. Bring your arms out in front of you. Head down onto your mat. Lift your right arm and your left leg up into the air and hold it and release. Left arm, right leg up into the air, hold it and release. And the other side, right arm, left leg, hold it up and release. Left arm, right leg, hold it up and release. And we're going to do bow pose. So bend your knees and grasp onto your shins and raise your thighs up off the mat as high as feels comfortable to you. And we'll hold it here for 2 more breaths. And go ahead, release out. Bring your arms out at a T position to your body. Bend your left arm, pushing down with your left palm. Go ahead, rotate over to the right side of your body, bringing your left foot back behind your body and get a nice shoulder stretch on the right side. Hold it here for 2 more breaths. And coming back onto your belly. Let's do the other side. This time your left arm is straight. Your right arm is bent. Your right palm on the mat, and your right foot is back behind your body. Getting a nice shoulder stretch on the left side. And then coming back to center. Let's push back into child's pose. Let's do wide-legged child pose this time. Maybe bringing your toes together, but your knees are spread apart. And coming all the way down, bringing your forehead to the top of the mat, arms spread wide in front of you. Hold it here for 3 full breaths. And pushing up to tabletop. We're going to transition onto our backs. May want to have a block here. We're going to do a bridge pose. So bring the soles of your feet to the mat. Bring your heels close to your glutes, maybe even touching your fingertips here, and then raise your hips up into the air and shimmy your shoulders underneath your body. If you'd like a more restorative pose, you can bring a block underneath your hips. For me though, I'd like this stretch today, so I'm gonna take the block out. Maybe you wanna bring the palms of your hands together, puffing your chest out, feeling a really good back, hamstring, glute stretch, shoulder stretch. And lower on down. And bringing your knees up to your chest. Bringing your forehead to your knees. Bring the soles of your feet back down to the mat. We're going to do figure 4 stretch, one of my favorites. I always do this stretch. So bring your right shin to your left knee. Rotate that right knee away from your face, and then bring your left knee up towards your face, grasping behind your left thigh or your left shin, leaving your head and shoulders down on the mat, feeling a really nice stretch on your right glute. Breathing into this. Bring your breath right into that tight area. Maybe flexing your right foot too. Maybe your left foot also, keeping it active. And releasing that, we'll do the other side. So bring your right foot down to the mat, bring your left shin to your right knee, rotate that left knee away from your face, and then bring your right knee closer to your face, grasping behind your right thigh or your right shin, flexing both feet, head and shoulders are resting down on the mat. Try to release any other areas of tension in your body. So if you find your face is all scrunched up, try to relax it. Relax your face and your throat. Maybe try to relax your shoulders. And just let that left glute feel all the stress. Relax into that too, if you can. And we'll hold it here for 2 more breaths. And release out of that. Bring the soles of your feet back down to the mat. Extend your right leg down onto the mat and bring your left knee up towards your chest. Curl up, bring your forehead to your knee, and lower your head down. And with your right hand, bring your left knee over to the right side of your body. Extend your left arm out and look out over your left fingertips. For a lying spinal twist. If you'd like an additional stretch, you can always straighten your left leg and feel a really intense IT band stretch here. If there's any other spinal twist you'd like to do now, instead of this one, please feel free to do that. We'll hold it here for 2 more breaths. Go ahead and come back to center. Give that left knee 1 more hug. Maybe bring it outside towards your left armpit a bit here. Getting a good stretch. And then release your left leg straight onto the mat and bring your right knee up into your chest. And curl up, bringing your forehead to your knee. And then lowering down. Bring your right arm out at a T position to your body and use your left hand to bring your right knee over to the left side of your body. Look out over your right fingertips. And again, if you want that additional stretch, you can always straighten your left leg. Feeling a really intense IT band stretch here. And breathe. Hold it here for 2 more breaths. Coming back to center. Give that right knee a hug 1 more time, maybe bringing it outside your body, closer to your right armpit. A bit wider stretch here. And then lengthen that leg out. And let's get a full body stretch here. Raising your arms up over your head, pointing your toes, stretch, stretch, stretch. And then curling everything up into a little ball. And let's rock back and forth, getting a nice spinal massage here. Just a couple more times. And then coming into stillness, let's do our happy baby. So bring the soles of your feet up towards the ceiling. You can grasp behind your thighs or grab onto your ankles, pulling your knees down towards your armpits, or maybe even grabbing onto the soles of your feet into your happy baby. And maybe you want to rock back and forth here, getting a little bit more of a massage on your back. I've got a nice cushy mat, so this feels good to me. coming into stillness. Let's hug our knees back into our chest. Let's roll up into a tiny little ball and let's stress everything. Just squeeze your eyes closed, clench your jaw, tighten your knees close to your chest, and then relax everything out. Bring your arms and legs out wide onto your mat, into Shavasana. Raise your chest up off the mat and then lower it down. Raise your head up and then lower it down. Bring your shoulders down away from your ears. Your palms are open to the ceiling. Your feet are relaxing out to the sides. Close your eyes and relax into our final pose, this corpse pose, Shavasana, signifying the death of our practice, the end of our practice. And breathe. Relax your forehead. Relax your eyes. Relax your jaw, your throat, your shoulders. Relax your arms and your hips, your thighs, calves. Relax your ankles and your feet. And just let your body sink into your mat, knowing that the earth beneath you is there to support you. And breathe. Enjoy this time. It's your time, and you deserve Shavasana. Don't skip this part. It's the whole reason we do yoga is so that we can enjoy Shavasana. Bring your attention back into the room. Wiggle your hands, your fingers, and your toes. Rotate your wrists and your ankles. Reach your arms up over your head and get a good full body stretch, like you just woke up from a nice nap. Bend your knees and roll over to one side into a fetal position. And just rest here for a moment. No need to rush. Using your top hand, you can push the mat away and come back up into a seated position. Bring your hands to heart center in front of you. Close your eyes and bow your head. Just notice how your body feels now. Has it changed from the beginning of this practice? Do you feel more relaxed? Do you feel more tense? How about your mind, your emotions? Are you more relaxed or are you more tense? I hope you enjoyed this practice. It's been an honor for me to lead you in it. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live a life of ease. Namaste. Thank you, yogis. Before we go, I have something to show you. Don't leave. Cicada. He's watching me on the balcony. Have a great day. Enjoy your July, especially 4th of July, everyone. Namaste.